A dollar bill is a friend of mine. We need money. We need money. Talking about money, money, money. Hey, hey.
Money 2.0 presents In the Now, the premier show for entrepreneurs, business owners, and business leaders. With marketing experts Brandon Heinz and Mike Driggers. Get ready to unleash and launch because they're going to blow your mind. Now, here are Brandon Heinz and Mike Driggers on Money 105.5.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're listening to this show. The In the Now with Mike Driggers and Brandon Heinz. We're live at Sacramento morning here, 10 a.m. Exciting day.
Oh, it's always so exciting. And it's Thanksgiving. You know, we just finished Thanksgiving last week. I'm still in that giving mode. I'm just loving what we're doing on the show. It's been great.
Yeah, we've had some pretty amazing guests so far. You think about it, right? And Thanksgiving show was just amazing. We've had Forbes Riley. We have Bernie Dorman from CEO. I mean, there's been some really good folks on the show. We had Kevin Clayson on gratitude.
Yeah, flipping the gratitude switch. That was great.
That was a great show. I loved it. So
this thing is really unfolding exactly how we envisioned it. So like Forbes Riley was talking about in the show last is that, you know, you've got to actually put it out there, dream it, believe it, achieve it.
Yeah.
And one of my things is it's not really dreaming for me. It's visioning it, right? It's like looking up to the right and seeing your future out there and knowing that that's going to happen because you're putting it into play.
That's so funny you said up to the right. That NLP's coming out on you.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. She mentioned that too. It's like neuroscience. It's what you say happens, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone always says, you know, words become, and how you actually grow and everything that's happening in your life is because of what you put out there.
Yeah.
If you keep putting yourself in a negative position, negative things are going to keep coming your way.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned in quantum is, you know, when you look at the Newtonian way people look at life, it's very structured and it's very simple. But the quantum reality of everything and how quantum works is that what you put out there and observe for is what you'll get. And that's true. They've proven this in science laboratories that when they observe for one thing, that's what happens. But if they just go in there with a wide open range and like put what they want in front of them, that's how it's going to play out. And it just threw me for a loop learning these quantum physics and neuroscience is that, wow, that's really how life works, which is why we have this awesome person coming on today, Jim Britt, an internationally recognized leader and highly sought after speaker in the field of peak performance and personal empowerment training, which is what this show is about. We want to personally empower each of you with our message every week, showing you like what you can do. When you design something correctly, you can live it.
Absolutely. I mean, you when you design your business around your lifestyle, your whole lifestyle changes, right? Because you're no longer inside your business, you're outside your business.
Yeah, one of my first mentors said to me, you got to stop working in your business.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you want me to do? No one else is going to run it. And then he said, no, you're going to run it, but you're going to work on it. So step out of it for a moment and start working on your businesses. And when I started removing myself out of the actual mechanism that made it work, it's like one of my favorite guys, Marcus Lemonis. People, product, process. So if you put the right people in place and the product that you truly believe was going to go to market, you were going to sell, you were going to bring the service to the people, everything was going to happen, then the processes are what makes you successful. So in our Design It courses, we teach a foundation called Design It, Build It, then Share It. But if you design it correctly and you design your business the right way, you're going to be successful. Most of us are successful already. Our businesses are doing good, but we just want to go a little bit further. That was the whole reason the Now Academy was formed. That's why right now, transformational coaching, life coaching, business coaching, these podcasts, this radio show, this is the reason why it's even on the air. Because what happened in the old times was you only have so many chances to do it right. No, those are now lessons. Failure becomes a lesson to learn from.
Oh, they're stepping stones to success.
Yeah, like one of the shows I was on recently, the Ronnie Deutsch radio show, she said, you know, what is courage? And I flat out right at the end knew courage is when you overcome something, you're no longer afraid of it. That's how I look at it. Not all of us have done that. So sometimes you've got to step out of your comfort zone, face that problem, that fear, and sometimes it does wipe you out.
Well, I've said this on previous shows, that get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? Step out of that comfort zone, constantly pushing yourself in your business, your life, and you know, get out of that comfort zone, because you're not going to grow. The only way you grow is by stepping out.
Yeah, and even in our last show and on shows that I've been on, they always say, like, how do you actually get there? You have to ask yourself, what do I want?
Yeah.
What do I want? Literally, I just did a show last week where they asked about the authentic self with Ronnie Deutsch. And I literally said, your authentic self has to be, it's clouded by society, right?
Sure.
It has to be opened up by what you want. There's always something you're afraid of. How will someone perceive me? How will I get to this next level? What if I am rich? Which friends would I lose? You know what? Your friends are your friends. Now, I do always believe if you're the only one making money in your friends, you got to find some new friends. Doesn't mean you lose the old friends. You just kind of expand it a little bit more.
Well, I believe in that study that was done, and I think it was Harvard that did the study. Not quite sure, but they said that the 5 people you hang out the most, you become the average of. So if you want to improve on something in life or in money or in your business, hang out with people that have done it or are there, because then you'll grow. And as you grow, then you keep stepping up into the next group, and you always have these friends, but there are some friends you just got to disassociate. You know, I've got people that I've known, I care about them, but I've outgrown and have gone to the next level for what I need to achieve in life. I still talk to them, but I don't go out of my way to hang out with them.
Yeah, one of my mentors once said to me something that's been sticking with me in business, family, friends, everything. In order for me to grow, I have to be okay with where you are. And I started putting that into position, like with business partners, right? Some business partners don't want to grow. They just want to get this revenue done. They don't want to they don't want to test it out. They just want to try this.
Right.
And I want to grow. I'm always a grower. When people work with me, my whole thing is to grow them, take them to the next level, get that business thriving so that you can design your business to gain your life. But in order for me to grow, I have to be okay with where certain people are. And that's just life. And that's stuck with me and played out in so many different aspects.
Absolutely.
Today's show is literally about success. Like how to unlock it, how to crack the rich code, one of the books written by our guest today. Cracking the life code, another great book. This guy's had 13 best-selling books. Rings of Truth, The Power of Letting Go, Freedom.
Yeah.
Unleashing your authentic power. So every time we have a guest on here, we're trying to grow you. Subconsciously, you're listening to the radio and your mind is just pulling all this information in. You might be focusing on one topic, but all of this stuff is going for you. It's actually working in your subconscious brain, just clicking away. But guess what? If you don't take action on any of it, it just sits back there and you just know it. It's just sitting there. It's in this little dusty filing cabinet. One of the things you have to do is ask yourself, what do I want? And once your brain says, what do I want? Your conscious mind starts thinking about that. And then your subconscious mind remembers, oh my gosh, that author, Cracking the Rich Code, was on the radio show today. That guy, Jim Brett, was telling me about this, and Brandon Heinz was mentioning this, and Mike Drigger said that. But if you don't want it, it just sits there.
Yep.
So we always ask all of our guests, our listeners, our attendees of our courses, are you willing to play full out? Are you going to take action?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can sit up here like a windbag and just keep mumbling and looking at Mike going, hey, I'm just talking away on the microphone, man, and I'm trying to help people. But if you're not going to take action with any of it, what good am I doing?
Well, you know, we talked about stepping out of the comfort zone. I mean, you know, for us to start this radio show, it took some effort and stepping out of the comfort zone, right? I mean, we're plugging away. We're going to figure it out. Yeah, are we going to stumble? Absolutely, right? I look forward to it because we're going to learn from our mistakes.
And you know what? What really nailed me for this show?
What's that?
Is I stepped back and said, what do I want? And I really wanted to help more people.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? A podcast, we could syndicate it, right? We're marketers. We could get that thing all over the place. You're going to see this radio show being syndicated in all kinds of places.
Everywhere.
But guess what? Now we have a podcast that's also a video podcast.
And a live stream.
And a live stream. Right. And a live radio show. So we're killing like 10 birds with one stone.
And recordings.
And recordings.
Right.
And guest appearances, call-ins, live appearances. We're basically taking this nutshell and we're going to help as many people as possible with our reach. Our reach is going to spread.
Yeah, then that's our number one goal is to help people, bless them. with the opportunity to learn, to grow, step out of that comfort zone. So it's a powerful tool for us. Yes, it helps us in our branding and marketing, but man, we've got messages that we want to get out there. But most importantly, our Rolodex of people we know and their message that we learn from, like our guest that's going to be coming up here shortly. Man, I cannot wait for that. It's going to be powerful.
Yeah, Jim Britt is amazing. We're going to go to break. We'll see you back in The Now, 105.5.
At the Now Academy, our focus is to help people achieve everything they want, both in business and in life. The highly experienced coaching team will work to design a custom online training program with a 100% money-back guarantee. You'll have access to the world's best free educational content and walk away with transformational results and extraordinary ideas that you can easily input soon after. Go to thenowacademy.com to take the next step and listen to their new radio show, In the Now, every Thursday at 10 a.m. The moment is now. thenowacademy.com.
Now back to In the Now with Brandon Heights and Mike Driggers on Money 105.5's Money 2.0.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Brandon Heights, and I'm here with Mike Driggers. And today we have a phenomenal guest for you, Jim Britt, internationally recognized leader and highly sought-after speaker in the field of peak performance and personal empowerment. I love it. This guy is amazing. He's the author of 13 best-selling books, including Cracking the Rich Code, Cracking the Life Code, Rings of Truth, Unleashing Your Authentic Power, Get Rich for Entrepreneurs, The Flaw in the Law of Attraction. I mean, this guy just has book after book, just hitting bestsellers. He's presented seminars throughout the world sharing his success principles and life-enhancing realizations with thousands of people in his audience, totaling over 1.5 million people from all walks of life. This guy has done what we want to do. This is why we have these type of guests on the show. Jim served as a success counselor at over 300 corporations, helping them with their success.
I know, that's amazing.
He was recently named one of the world's top 50 success coaches, and even better than that, he's been narrowed down to the top 20.
Out of that.
This guy's amazing. So, Jim, are you on the phone with us today?
I am on the phone.
Love having you.
Well, thanks for having me, for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the topic. The topic today is Get Rich for Entrepreneurs, right? Isn't that what we are striving for?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
So share with us a little bit about that principle. Like, I mean, every entrepreneur wants to get rich. You know, that's what we all set out to. We have these dreams, fantasies to go out there and build an empire. Tell us a little bit about the foundation of what you have as far as that principle.
Well, it started for me, just a brief history. I'm a high school dropout, no formal education at all, left in the 10th grade, and wish now I'd have left in the 8th grade. I'd been so much further ahead. But school wasn't for me, and, worked a couple of jobs, worked in a gas station pumping gas, and then worked on an assembly line in a factory in the middle of Oklahoma. And I didn't know but what I'd be there the rest of my life, and then somebody invited me to take a look at a business opportunity, and I went to this meeting one evening and saw something there, and I said to myself, I can do this, and it required a $4,000 investment. Big problem, I only had $9, and so I went to 23 loan companies and banks trying to borrow the money, and got turned down 22 times, and number 23 finally loaned it to me. And don't know why. Maybe it was mafia. I'm not sure. It was real high interest rate. I know that.
So it was mafia.
Yeah. And then over the next 12 months, all I was told is you got to go out and talk to people. And I went out and started talking to people. And my goal was 10 a day for every day. So the next year, I'd spoken with at least 3,650 people, and I got 3,650 no's. So I had that many reasons to quit, but I wouldn't give up. I mean, I was tenacious. I'd already quit my job at the factory, so I couldn't leave. Lost my home, both my cars, all of my furniture, and then somebody came by and coached me. He didn't call himself a coach back then, but he sat with me in my floor because I didn't have any furniture for about 2 hours, and went over what I was doing wrong and what I was missing and what I needed to be doing. And man, the lights went on. The next month I made $2,600. The next month I made about $6,000. Within 6 months I was clicking along at about $40,000 to $50,000 a month. And within a year from that time, sitting on my floor, I was worth just a few bucks under $1 million. So it can turn around, but sometimes you got to be tenacious to do that and not give up. So that was a starting point for me. And when I went through it, I thought it was the toughest time of my life. But looking back on it, actually, I learned a whole lot about myself and about people and about meeting people and what people look for, and I learned a lot during that year. It was very valuable for me. So that's where I started. And about 3 years ago, I did a television infomercial, and I went around and interviewed 12 self-made mega millionaires, 1 billionaire, and all of them had to have started with nothing. And most of them all of them were worth over 100 million, some worth 200 or 300 million, and 1 billionaire. And as I'm interviewing them, after about the fourth one, I started to realize that even though each one of them was in a different category of business, that they all had the same common traits. And I started to look at myself and look at other people, and I thought, there's certain traits that successful people have. And so I started to really build upon that and realized that if you apply these, you cannot not succeed in business. I mean, it may not be the business you're in, but if you've got a vision, a goal that you want to become a millionaire, become wealthy, become a successful entrepreneur, whatever that means to you, it's required to have these things. And without them, a lot of people just struggle.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, a lot of them get into business. I know when I got into business, like I had dropped out of high school and then went years later back, but I was marketing a company that we marketed personal development and speakers and all this, and that's kind of where it changed for me, because I started realizing mentorship and the importance of it. But I started an advertising agency because I wanted to continue to market speakers. They had gone a different path. Unfortunately, it wasn't their fault, but that's what I wanted to do. But I had no clue of how to start an advertising agency. So, but I had to figure it out, and I sought out mentors and started trying to figure out those traits that you're talking about, Jim.
Yeah, that resonates with me huge, Jim, because I was from the same background. I was a poor kid. I had a rough time at school. But right off the bat, people came to me, and they actually, instead of just like I knew I had these traits, they pointed them out to me. Which, when I was looking at your bio and deep diving into who you really were, right off the bat, it rang true for me, because the first job I had at 14, the first sales job, was Cutco. And after school, I was literally showing Cutco to all my friends and family, and I was making all this money, and I was 14. I was like, what the heck is happening? All because somebody pointed out this trait I had. They're like, man, you listen to people, and then you show them what they want. You should do this. It was a Cutco rep.
Well, interesting. When Jim Rohn and I were together for about 10 years in business.
What an amazing...
I did seminars with Cutco, quite a few of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen that on the profile, and then I was actually thinking, like, one of my little, like, person that I strive for in high school was a Kirby rep. And he was in the house all the time, putting his suit and tie on and going out there and selling those Kirby vacuums, and I was like, this guy's doing it. He's got that trait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard work, but one of my friends was #1 World Book Encyclopedia salesman worldwide, but it just setting appointments, knocking on doors, going through the steps. If you find out what that is and just consistently do those, you get better and better at it.
So what are some of the traits that we can share with our audience that could help them if they're thinking to be an entrepreneur, they're an entrepreneur now and they're struggling? What are some traits that you would offer up?
Yeah. Well, first of all, an entrepreneur is not always the same as a business owner, and a lot of people own businesses, own a franchise, and consider themselves an entrepreneur. That's not always the case. I know a fellow that owns 600 franchises. He's the largest franchisee in the world, and he's an entrepreneur. But I know other people that own a pizza place or a coffee shop or something like that, and sometimes you buy yourself a job. But an entrepreneur, it's a thinking process. You got to be mentally tough, and you got You got to think on your feet. But certain traits, number one, which is a very simple one, and I think everybody has it to some degree, and it's called a desire to have something more, something better in your life. And you know, if you went out and you asked 1,000 people on the street, would you like to make more money, you'd probably get 1,000 yeses. I don't know if it's somebody that's already making $1 million a year, or $5 million a year, or 50,000 a year. They're going to say, yes, I want to make more money. But why is it that most people don't? They just kind of go along and take their raises as they go along, or you know, barely make a living as an entrepreneur. They have a desire to do more, but they never seem to break out of that. And which brings up the next trait, really, and that is making that decision that doesn't allow for turning back. Because a decision really determines how you show up to the world, and it determines how the world shows up to support you.
Playing full out.
It creates your mindset. I mean, think about it. If you're given something a try, let's say, well, I'm going to go raise $1 million and see if I can get this business to work. Well, how you show up to that investor that you're going to raise $1 million from, you better show up with a firm decision. Otherwise, they're going to give you a great big no. Because they buy you first. I tell people, you know, if you're in business, people don't care about your business. They don't care about your opportunity. They don't care about your product. They don't even care about you. So if they don't care about you, they're not even going to go to the next step. So they're buying that mindset that you have. And a lot of people, they think, well, as soon as I make the money, I'll have the mindset. As soon as I'm successful, I'll feel successful. But it's the other way around. As soon as you decide to be successful and feel that inside and carry that with you, that determines how you show up. You become like a magnet to people. They want to be around you. They want to know what you're doing. They want to help. They want to invest. So I've seen it so many times. I used to teach at a place called CEO Space, which is an entrepreneur academy. Basically, it's about seven days long. And I saw all of these projects coming through, and a lot of people just giving them a try. But if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be a wealthy entrepreneur, you got to decide to be wealthy. And it's a decision that when you make it, you may not even know how you're going to do it. It's just one day you to go, I'm going to do this, I'm going to become wealthy. Now your vision of the world changes. Now you see opportunities. You know, a lot of people say, well, there's not many opportunities around to make money. Come on. I mean, look around the room that you're in. Somebody got rich selling sheetrock. Somebody got rich selling carpet, desks, phones, computers, you know, you name it.
Yeah, those people literally, they made the decision not to turn back.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things when you play full out, you can't be halfway in the game.
No.
If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you've got to play full out. There's no stopping.
Well, you got to take that desire to the heart.
Yeah.
Once it's in the heart, that's what drives you, right?
Yeah.
So I totally agree.
Because for most people, I mean, just look around. You know, you give them a beer, point them toward the television, give them the remote, and they'll complacently live out their lives saying that they want a better life. But they'll sit there and watch TV and not take action.
That's so funny because I was just telling my friend about that. We were talking about that particular topic, and I said it's like the old hound dog sitting on the porch that's laying on a nail, right? He's complaining and barking, but he won't get up off the porch that he's sitting on that nail. Right, and that's what most people do with the beer and the remote, and they just sit there and complain. I need a better life. I need more money, but they don't do anything. They don't take action.
Well, I'm a huge fan of the beer and the remote.
A beer, a glass of wine, and a remote. I usually do it at the end of a 12-hour day where I've worked.
Yeah, sure.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Is like, that's my detox. That's my drive home. Is like I come home, I kiss the wife and kids, and I sit down. But when we come back from commercial, we're going to have more from Jim Britt, and we're basically going to deep dive into those traits in the now.
Join Brandon Heinz and Mike Driggers as they introduce the heavy hitters in business. Learn valuable tools and some of the challenges that face these entrepreneurs, authors, and coaches on In the Now. In the Now will engage and encourage you to take the next step to your financial and personal success. Listen every Thursday at 10 a.m. and follow the show on the Money 105.5 app. Join Brandon and Mike for a powerful hour of business tips and marketing strategies every Thursday at 10 a.m. on In the Now.
This is Michael Medved. I'm here with Mike Stahl from Health Markets, helping folks find the right Medicare coverage. The news reports say that the rates might be going down.
The government projects the cost of Medicare plans will decrease this year. So you have to ask yourself, are you getting the best rate? Health Markets offers a free service with access to thousands of Medicare plans nationwide to help folks maximize their benefits and save money.
What is it people need to keep in mind?
Enrollment in the right plan is not automatic. With so many Medicare options, it can be confusing. My advice, don't go it alone. Get unbiased help to find a plan that may cost less and cover more with lower co-payments, more choices like dental and vision, and the freedom to choose your doctors. With the enrollment deadline only weeks away, it's important to act now. Our Health Markets Medicare assistance is free.
Thanks, Mike. This is Michael Medved for Health Markets.
For your free Medicare assistance, call 800-292-7796. That's 800-292-7796. 800-292-7796.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. My employees and I would like to thank you for making MyPillow possible. Years ago, when I invented MyPillow, I thought I was the only one out there with problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I'd flip-flop all night, and wake up with a sore neck or headache. So that's why I invented MyPillow. You can adjust MyPillow's patented fill to your exact individual needs to help you get to sleep faster and stay there longer, to get the quality sleep you need. I back it with my 10-year warranty and my 60-day money-back guarantee. And now to thank you, I'm bringing back my best offer ever. Buy one of my MyPillows and get another one absolutely free.
Just go to MyPillow.com and click on the radio listener special. Be sure to use the promo code KTKZ because you love KTKZ, and that's how you get the deal. Order your MyPillow Buy One, Get One radio listener special now. Click on the radio listener special and use the promo code KTKZ at MyPillow.com.
Money 105.5 and the Money 105.5 app with Brandon Heinz and Mike Driggers in the Now.
Welcome back. Just went to commercial break, and we were talking about entrepreneurs getting rich, and with Jim Brooks, the author of that book, and then we were talking about the traits and mindset. And Jim, you started talking about the desire first, having desire, and then making a decision, taking action. Well, why don't you go ahead and finish out on some of the other traits and go from there?
Yeah. Well, the two first traits were desire and decision, and the third one is taking action. And a lot of people I see taking action. I've had people that I've coached that are, in 10 different businesses at one time, and are not doing well in any of them. They're taking a lot of action, but it's not focused action, and they haven't made the decision. And they're taking action just based on anxiety and panic and hoping that something's going to happen. But you got to have a direction. You got to know what you're going for and then take action toward that. And, we hear a lot. I have the one book called The Flaw in the Law of Attraction. And I hear a lot about it. I used to hear more about it, not as much anymore. But, I'm applying the law of attraction. I'm manifesting something. And I don't really understand, because when you look at physics, the law of attraction is actually, it's possible it can happen, but it's like 50 billion to 1, and I don't like those odds that much. So yeah, when you decide to have something, you become attractive, but you don't actually pull those people to you. You don't create them. If you could just be driving along in your automobile or down the highway and manifest a soda and a hamburger on your console. But that's not going to happen either. So
at least not in our time frame.
Yeah, you become attractive, and people want to be around you because of the signal you're putting out. You could make the decision and set it home, and nothing happens. You've got to get yourself out there amongst people, and then people want to be around you. But you've got to take action, because once the decision is made, people ask me all the time, what's the number one key to success? And I said, well, once the decision is made as to what you want to do, every action you take from that point forward is going to move you closer to it or further away from it.
Absolutely.
Just if anything's that simple. I don't care if you want to lose weight or make money or start a business or whatever. But it doesn't mean that you have to stick with something. I had a good friend of mine that had a hair care line that was really good. It actually grew hair. And you may have heard of it back called the Helsinki formula many years ago. Well, he started out in the drugstores. And in his drugstores nationwide, nobody bought the stuff. And he was about to give up on it. And then he said, somebody said, let's try it on a television infomercial. It was back when infomercials weren't even around. This might have been the first one, second one or something. But he put it on there, and he earned himself a cool $200-300 million.
Wow!
Off of that infomercial. So he got it out there. It was just in a different way than what he started with. But because you see those opportunities if you decided that that's what you're going to do. So it requires action and focused action that moment to moment you're asking yourself, is this moving me in the direction I want to go? And an action could be a thought, it could be an emotion, it could be a belief that you're holding, it could be a behavior that you have, a habit, whatever. Just have to look at yourself, observe yourself, and say, is this moving me in the direction I want to go?
Absolutely. And then, I've heard folks, say, oh, that person's lucky, or that person, they just right place, right time, and it's never the case. I have a acronym for luck, and that I've learned, and that's labor under correct knowledge. Right? It's just that they took action. They did the things to go and make that happen. So instead of giving up, like the friend with the hair product, I mean, he could have easily given up. But he's an entrepreneur. He's a different route. Okay, that didn't work. Look, that's success. That's the failure. Well, that's a stepping stone. Let's go in another direction, and boom, it paid off.
He's probably a billionaire today, and all he sells is hair. Hair products. Oh, wow. Straightening hair, curling hair, removing hair. He's got all the hair. That's what he does.
Anything with hair.
Well, he had a desire for more. He made a decision not to turn back. He had a direction, and he took some action. So that's literally the base formula for anything that you do. Any of our courses you go to, we flat out tell you, if you're not willing to take action, you're not the right person. You should probably go home at lunch.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the next trait, really, that I found, and I certainly have that, and I've used it a lot of times, is in today's world, you got to be bold. You gotta put yourself in the spotlight.
Absolutely.
Not to be reckless, but you got to take risk. You've got nobody else is going to put that spotlight on you. You've got to climb on stage and take center stage and get into the light. Because I don't care what kind of business you're in, you got to be bold today. Otherwise, you get left in the dust.
Yeah, you got to be these two guys that are coaching businesses and seminars, and then jump on a radio show.
Let's go do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Then we get the famous Jim Britt on.
I know when my first business, I had to sell products and recruit people, and I tried everything, man. I mean, I went door to door, knocking on doors, trying to recruit people. I went, trying to sell my product. I got good at selling my products. I was selling a line of cleaning chemicals that really worked, and so I got good at going door to door, knocking on the doors and selling the stuff. But it took a lot of courage to do it. But every time I look back, I'm going, man, I had days where I just go, no, I can't do this anymore. Then I'm going, no, I decided I'm going to get rich doing this. I know I can. I know it works. I've seen other people do it. I've got to keep going. And I'd pull myself up and keep going.
Yeah, you made that decision not to turn back.
Yeah, I mean, here I am. I got a notice on my door from the sheriff. I got a family, and it says you've got to be out in 5 days. I got no money. I got no vehicle. I got no place to go. Nothing. And in that 5-day period, I had a second opportunity that approached me. I got the opportunity to do a project with a couple of guys that I'd had some connection with, which furnished me a vehicle, a 3-bedroom furnished apartment, $300 a week, and the end result of that was I made about $400,000 from that opportunity over the next 12 months. And that was back when $400,000 was a lot of money.
Sure.
but I was bold. I stepped up, and I didn't know if I could do what they wanted me to do, but I said yes, and then I figured out how.
Yeah, when I started, I was selling in a company and doing the same, something similar, and I was like ignorance on fire. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew is I was going to be a millionaire. That's all I thought. And I was like 16 years old. So I was walking up and down the streets, brushing my teeth with this LOC and selling SH soap everywhere. And
No, if you look at that, like you said, it's not everyone's an entrepreneur, and there are these same traits in business owners. I have literally been that guy, fake it till you make it. I've walked into businesses in my 20s and said, I can do this. I'm not going to turn back. I'm going to get direction. I'm going to take action. I'm going to make bold things. I'm going to do new stuff in marketing, try new things out. You have to do it.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you're as successful as you are today, is that you got put into a position where there was a decision that you had to have more. You had a desire. And
I heard you two guys going back and forth here before I came on, talking about a comfort zone and about fear. And so many people let fear just take over and run their lives, and they don't even know what's happening. But fear is really it's certainly a made-up story in our minds. We make up stuff that we think is going to happen, and which sometimes it leads us to that. There's two types of fear. If a bear is chasing you, you want to get away.
Yeah.
But
fast.
The fear that you make up in your mind, conflict that we make up is just it's what it is. It's a made up story, and if you follow it, you're going to have more of that. So fear to me is taking a past experience, projected it into the future with that anticipation of it happening again, and then re-experiencing it in the moment. And it just burns up your creative energy, it burns up your income, it burns up your health, all of those things. So you've got to get past that, and the comfort zone, I'd say that's probably one of the biggest challenges that most people face, is stepping out of that, and doing something that's uncomfortable for them. But to me, if you're too comfortable, you're not growing.
Exactly. Let's hold that thought right there. My producer Sean saying we got to go to commercial. But beautiful thought. Let's come back on that.
At the Now Academy, our focus is to help people achieve everything they want, both in business and in life. The highly experienced coaching team will work to design a custom online training program with a 100% money-back guarantee. You'll have access to the world's best free educational content and walk away with transformational results and extraordinary ideas that you can easily input soon after. Go to thenowacademy.com to take the next step and listen to their new radio show, In the Now, every Thursday at 10 a.m. The moment is now. thenowacademy.com.
The #1 show for entrepreneurs. This is In the Now, part of the Money 2.0 series on Money 105.5 and the Money 105.5 app.
Welcome back to In the Now with Brandon Heinz and Mike Drigger and our guest Jim Brett. Before the break, we left on that point where you just have to have courage, and these false realities we put in place off of fear. And I 100% believe early in my life in the entrepreneurs, I realized that there was no reason to focus on the past, and worrying about the future isn't going to help me now. So the Now Academy was literally formed off a belief I have. In the Now Radio was a belief that everything that you experience in life is happening to you now. Whether you're afraid of something in the future or dwelling on something in the past might happen again, you're experiencing it now. So right now for our listeners, Jim, we've got this desire for more. They've got this decision they need to make not to turn back. Now they got to get that direction focused and take action and be bold and have that courage. But what's the one key thing, someone listening right now who hasn't read your book, Get Rich for Entrepreneurs, yet, what's the one thing they need to do to take action?
Well, they've got to move past that comfort zone, and that's kind of what we started with here when I said that give people a beer and point them toward the television, and they'll live out their lives wanting more but never taking action to do it. It's because they're comfortable with who they are. And I've worked with so many people in one of my programs called The Power of Letting Go, where people are actually afraid to let go, even though it's something that maybe they got abused in the past or lost a lot of money in the past, but they're afraid to let go of that and they'll say something to the fact that, well, what's going to be there? I won't know how to live my life if I let that go. And they think that it's protecting them, but really it's not. I mean, your program Living in the Now, that's really what it's about. Let go of those things. So if I had to choose one thing, the number one trait for me is the ability to let go, because you can disconnect from all of the things that keep you from getting what you want. You can disconnect from those emotions and feelings of fear when you see it for what it is. And letting go, what happens, people become addicted. We're all addicted in some way.
Sure.
And you look at a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction, and emotional addiction is just as strong. And the more we do it, the more we repeat the cycle of that addiction, the more it influences us, the stronger it becomes. So you've got to be self-observant and start to observe your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions and your behaviors and your habits and all of those things, and let go of the things that's holding you back. People say, well, letting go is so hard to do. Well, if I pick up a book laying on my desk and I'm holding it, then I'm hanging on to it. It's not hanging on to me, I'm hanging on to it. Now I can tuck it under my arm and I can carry it with me for the rest of my life. Or I can take it and lay it down. I can let it go. And that's really what letting go is. You observe what's not working, what's taking you in the wrong direction, and don't give it any energy. Move in the other direction. And when people start doing this and become conscious of it, oh my gosh, your life changes, your effectiveness changes, your ratio of sales success, whatever it is you're working on changes, your relationship at home changes, everything changes.
Absolutely.
You just don't buy into those things that burn up your energy.
I 100%. Belief is always set into stone by experience, and once you let that experience go, you can have new beliefs. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. I love that.
A belief is one of my favorite quotes is that all beliefs are false.
Yeah.
Until you decide they're true.
Mm-hmm. And that key word, you decide, right? Those key words right there.
You know, there's a belief and there's a knowing. I mean, you might know that the sun comes up in the east. You know, that's a fact. Although now they say the Earth is tilting, so it may not be coming up in the east. So I don't know. But there's certain things that are facts. But beliefs are just something that we make up. So, gosh, if you believe it's hard to make money, well, make up something new. Make up something that says it's not that hard to make money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. I mean, your body experiences what you let it. And people always forget that they're in control of every single part of their body. Their mind, their body, their pinky toe, everything that's in there, you own it. It's yours. And I'll tell you one thing that I know about letting go is that you need to let go of some stuff. You're going to get new stuff, and new stuff could be good or bad too, but you got to let that go. And the more you start letting things go, I'm not saying you can't replace, like, everything's just going to get better. You might replace some old stuff with some new stuff that's just as bad, but guess what? Your body won't let you go backwards. That old stuff, whatever replaces it, is better than what you used to have.
Well, and when you let go, there's a vacuum created for something new to come in.
Yeah.
And it may be the answer you're looking for. I mean, here's a good example. We've all had this happen. It's like we go, remember that movie I saw, and gosh, who played in that movie? And you see their face, you can't remember their name, and you're going, oh gosh, who was it? Oh, well, never mind, it doesn't matter. And then about 2 seconds later, it pops into your mind.
Yep.
As soon as you let go of the attachment to that, it all comes back to you. So it leaves a vacuum for answers to come to you.
Yeah, see, I thought I had this little guy that was running into the file cabinet, pulling out the file and bringing it to me.
He was kind of limp. It was taking a little bit longer.
Yeah. But I agree, because I'm like that guy. I see a movie, and I have never remember the actors' names. I know them by their faces, right? And then it takes me a while. But you're right. It calls, once you let it go, boom, all of a sudden it shows up.
Yeah, something new comes too. It's like you're going to let go of some old baggage, and you're going to get some new baggage, and it's going to be better than the old baggage.
Yeah, I like what you said, though. You can't go backwards.
Yeah, your body won't let you. It's not going to take something worse than what you've already hold on to.
Yeah, and if you just look at your own life, I mean, there's things that you believed when you were in high school that you thought was going to be the way your life was for the rest of your life until you left.
Sure.
And then it all changed, and you had a job that you thought you'd work there the rest of your life, and it all changed. I mean, I tried to go mentally back to the factory, and I'm going, I can't believe I ever did that. but I did. It was just one of those things you do, and as soon as I let go of that factory, a whole new opportunity came about,
Yeah, this has been great.
And just got to be open for things and realize that you're not in total control. You just got to let go of the things that you can control. And that's one of the things that really creates a lot of sanity for me and for other people that I've worked with. If you learn to not buy into things that create conflict and inner conflict, if it's something that you can control, take action and get it done. If it's something you can't control, let it go and just have the courage to leave it at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it'll all resolve itself.
Absolutely. And you don't waste the energy or the anger. You don't have any of the frustration. You don't carry any of that when you let it go. If you have no control of it, don't.
Yeah, I believe that we arrive here on planet Earth with a certain amount of energy to burn up. And once we burn it up, our trip gets canceled. And that can happen, it can happen quickly. For some people, they get so caught up in the negative stuff, they end up with a heart attack or whatever, and they just burn up their energy. And anxiety, is a combination of fear, anger, and depression. And if you buy into that, man, you can just go in circles all day long, just burning up your energy.
Well, now I know why you have 13 best-selling books. So everybody who's listening to this is Jim Britt. You can find him at jimbritt.com. And Jim, I really want to thank you. I mean, after even digging into your bio and hearing your story live on the radio, I'm even more impressed with you, going from zero all the way to where you are now, and then doing it a couple times, as all entrepreneurs do. So thank you for being on the show today.
I appreciate it. My pleasure.
So one of the key things that I got, man, is the ability to let go. You have to let go. You have to know when to quit. I'm currently working on a business right now out of one of the 9 that I own here in California and over the United States, and I'm going to let one go because it's just not doing what I need it to do, and it's not serving the purpose it should, and I'm going to be okay with it. Now, in the Design It courses, we look at these same foundations. You have to have a desire to want more in your life. Mm-hmm. There's no way around it.
Which was the thing that I got the most out of today's show, too. I'm good at stepping out of the comfort zone and letting go, but the desire, just really taking those things and attaching it to the heart and focused desire.
Yeah, right? And then the ability to actually take that step and not look back. Whether you're a desk jockey or you're an entrepreneur, you have to make a decision. Like if you're working in this restaurant and you're the chef not taking a paycheck, you've got to take a paycheck and then see if it works out for you. Sure. So just keep moving forward. And this is the month of giving, man. We just went through Thanksgiving week. This is the week after. We have a Design It course coming up in December, on December 8th, 9th, and 10th at the Hyatt here in Roseville, right next to the Galleria Mall. 3 days with us digging deep, and we're giving away a $3,000 ticket to you and one guest. All you have to do is go to AskBrandonNow.com and subscribe there and say, I would love to attend this course. Like, you have a desire for more. You want change in your life.
Yeah, 3 days of craziness with us.
Yeah,
right?
It's fun. If it ain't fun, it ain't getting done.
Exactly.
So you can go to the nowacademy.com and click on courses and then go in there and fill out an application where you can find to contact us. But we're giving away to our listeners 2 tickets. You only guess.
That's $6,000 in value.
Yeah, and we're literally giving out 15 of these tickets. So we're going to have about 80 people in the course. We're probably going to have about 200 if we really push this thing hard enough. But let's go for it. This goal for this closeout in December is everyone who wants desire to do more in January, who wants to move forward and take action and have next year just be the best year of their life. Join us for the Design It course, where we will design your business to help you gain your life.
Here and now with Mike Driggers and Brandon Hite.
In the now.
In the now.